After everything what you eat, oral rinse is mandatory.
Bad odor. How does one in Ayurveda control that?
बैड ओडर का बहुत बड़ा रीजन होता है वो होता है आपका गट हेल्थ जो नॉर्मली लोग नहीं सोचते. माउथ क्लींजिंग के लिए जो माउथ वॉश आते हैं वो करते रहेंगे, खुश हो जाएंगे.
But how much of digestion is really accounted for by oral health?
At least 50. Your mouth, your buccal cavity is the gateway toward your gut health.
Okay.
This is your stomach, this is your gut. अर्जुन की छाल का अगर आप दातुन करते हैं या उसका गंडूश या कुल्ला करते हैं तो ओरल लाइकन प्लेनस ठीक होता है. ओरल लाइकन प्लेनस जिसका कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है.
Is it possible for a toothpaste to fix my saliva?
टूथपेस्ट की बात नहीं करते, थोड़ा सा आयुर्वेद में चलते हैं.
Would you believe if I told you that Ayurveda holds fascinating secrets of how one can get a good smile? But is good smile enough or equivalent to good oral health? Today in our podcast, we have our award-winning Vaidya, Dr. Saurabh Sharma, who's going to unravel these fascinating pearls of Ayurvedic wisdom of how one can revitalize their oral health and also deal with their daily dental problems. Make sure that you like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel. Welcome, Dr. Saurabh. Today we talk about the importance of oral health. What does Ayurveda say about that?
Well, as we all understand very well, oral health is the first gateway towards your gut health.
Okay.
And we all understand it also very simply that your gut is your second brain.
Yes.
So if something is wrong going with your gut, then it means everything is going wrong with your body.
Okay.
So oral hygiene or oral health plays a very, very important role in Ayurveda, or let's say in good health.
But how does it, everybody says that oral health in Ayurveda is connected to your gut health.
Yeah.
I want to make that connection. Like, what does it mean?
It's very simple. Let's talk it a little scientifically and then we'll correlate with the Ayurveda.
Okay.
We all understand that in our oral health or let's say buccal cavity, there are certain enzymes which are secreted.
Okay.
For example, let's just simply understand if we're eating something, it does not get digested, it creates toxins in the body.
Okay.
And it's very simple and clearly understood that whatever you eat, the digestion starts from the buccal cavity.
Okay.
And imagine if the buccal cavity is not clean, it's not hygienic and it's toxic, or let's say the mucous membrane is coated.
Okay.
So what will happen? The digestion won't start.
Okay.
If the digestion won't start, the toxin will get released inside the body. You'll have ama accumulation. Then it's the beginning of the diseases.
Okay.
So that's why in Ayurveda it is said oral hygiene or oral health is most important because when you chew the food, the salivary gland starts into action, the enzyme section starts, and especially the carbohydrates metabolism starts from the mouth.
Yeah.
So the first thing is you chew your food nicely. And the most important thing is that you keep the hygiene intact. That's very important for it.
So by hygiene, I've seen a lot of people now they've started using tongue scraping. Mm-hmm. How important is tongue scraping and how many times a day should one do it?
Well, let me correct you first.
Okay.
These days people have started doing tongue scraping, but this is there in the Vedas, in Ashtanga Sangrah as well as Charaka Samhita, in the Dinacharya, which is daily routine part. It is clearly mentioned that one should wake up and then you brush your teeth. Okay, that time it was suggested to use the neem datun. Use the neem and the other herbs as well.
Yeah.
But these days we are using the toothbrushes. But we are very fortunate that we have herbal toothpaste like Ayudent and others, which are really very good for dental cleansing.
Yeah.
Apart from that, after that, the dental cleansing, we need to tongue scrape.
Okay.
Tongue scrape, let me correct one more thing. People are doing tongue scraping with the brushes, You must have seen.
Yeah.
They're using.
Yeah.
But that basically destroys the papillas on the
So
tongue.
You're saying that one should not use their toothbrush for cleaning their tongue?
Definitely not. This is a big no.
Okay.
Big no. Because when you do your toothbrush, the bristles basically destroy the papillas on the tongue.
Okay.
And then the taste goes. So this is very common. I do the tongue scraping, but
And then it makes it numb or destroys your...
Yeah. As I said, the digestion starts from the mouth. And then you destroy it and then you say, I don't have a good digestion. So that's
But how much of digestion is really accounted for by oral health? Is not something that you eat or, something that you're taking inside from... How much, what percentage would you attribute to oral health?
At least 50.
50%?
Which is quite a lot. I know.
You're saying...
But I'm telling you, believe me, from my practical experiences.
Okay.
That's really true.
Okay.
I'll give you a lot of experience.
So you're saying 50% of oral health...
Starts from here.
It contributes to a bad digestion.
Yeah.
And what is the rest 50%? It's just what you eat and how you
what
eat,
you eat, when you eat, the food combinations and everything.
But 50% is a big number.
I know it's a big number, but I mean that's what people are. Okay, let's take a very simple example. People procrastinate brushing teeth or cleaning the mouth in the night. Leave it. Night binging and eating whatever at 11, 12 in the night and then sleeping.
Okay.
And then believe me, the biggest business these days is dentistry.
Oh, we should probably.
Why? It's because of the mistaken intellect. We understand that, I mean, okay, let's go to the Shastras or the Samhitas. But let's just go to our simple scriptures where it is mentioned that after everything what you eat, oral rinse is mandatory.
Okay.
Just
after
to rinse.
every meal.
Every meal. Just
so
to rinse, not to brush.
We're just debating on all the myths and, all... I feel like all the myths that I've believed in for so long, they're just getting quashed by Dr. Saurabh here.
It's very
so
clear.
You're saying after every meal I have to rinse my mouth?
At least rinse. I'm not yet saying to brush, but at least to rinse.
At least to rinse.
Yeah, because we all studied in school, chew your food 25 times.
But just drinking water will not help after
exactly.
Not exactly. You have to squish the water.
Ajine bhashajam vari, jine vari balpradam. It means if you are drinking water with the food, you're already pacifying the Agni.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Not to drink water just after the food.
So you have to squish water just to rinse it and then take out all the food particles that are stuck. Well, modern dentists also tell you
this
that.
This is a very common thing actually. I mean, see what you said about the tongue scraping, that these days people, this is there and this is at least we Indians have grown up with. It's very simple. But when you do basically tongue scraping, either with silver, copper or even these days steel, it at least don't destroys the papillas of the tongue.
Okay.
It basically, I mean, people understand that it is just mouth cleansing.
Yeah.
But believe me, it is not just mouth cleansing.
Okay. You're also cleansing your gut in a way.
You're basically increasing the secretion of the enzymes from your mouth.
Okay.
So ptyalin and lysozyme, scientifically speaking, these enzymes are secreted from the parotid gland. So when you basically do the tongue scraping, you stimulate the glands.
Okay.
When you stimulate, the enzymatic actions start. Okay. And then the digestion starts. So especially for the carbohydrate digestion, which we Indians are most fond of.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we are having carbohydrate metabolism from the mouth, half of the job is done.
So tell me, you mentioned a couple of tongue cleaners. Mm-hmm. How would I know which tongue cleaner is best for me? What would you say applies to everyone?
Well, I have to be honest this time because everyone has a different kind of dosha attributes.
Okay.
And for this is good that you come to me or any other Vaidya to get your Prakriti analysis done.
Okay.
Because every tongue cleaner has its own property. For example, copper has its own property, silver has its own property, and stainless steel has its own property. Okay. So my suggestion is to get a proper pulse diagnosis done and then get to know. Okay. Because people are often confused about Prakriti and Vikriti, and then they're doing what people are doing, following, strange things. So it's better.
So you recommend that one should come to a Vaidya, but for in general, there must be one form of safe.
In that case, if people are using stainless steel, it is okay.
It's okay.
But for the health benefits, if you really want to health benefits,
for the gut health benefits,
then I would suggest.
Then definitely choose, something that is specific to your body type, which is Prakriti, and then the Vaidyas can help you in that direction.
Yeah.
But Dr. Saurabh, tell me, you said that there is a difference in properties of these tongue cleaners, but they stick on your tongue for only probably, less than a minute or maybe 30 seconds or so. Do you think it matters so much?
Dr. Rini, it matters a lot. Believe me. I mean, let's talk very simply. Even a touch matters, right?
Yeah.
Imagine.
In a way,
right?
Yeah.
Imagine something is touching on one of the major 5 senses of your body.
Yeah.
So what touches on your tongue, that really makes a big difference.
Okay.
For example, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's use copper.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're using copper tongue cleaner. Okay?
Yeah.
What is the copper's property? It's hot, it's warm, it's a metal, right?
Yeah.
So when you do it, it's a little hard on your tongue. Now, let me give you the secret now. So for those people who have kapha dominance, okay? So copper is for them.
Okay.
So kapha means thick tongues, heavy. So for that, it is good.
Okay.
But if you are pitta type, then silver is good because silver is cooling.
Okay.
That's the simple answer.
So there are a variety of ways that Vaidyas decide, what tongue cleaner is best for you. And Dr. Saurabh is giving us some snippets, but not all of it. Other than tongue cleaning, oral health में और क्या आता है? Ayurveda क्या बोलता है exactly oral health के बारे में? आपने बताया वेद शास्त्र में सब कुछ लिखा है.
जी.
एक पार्ट tongue cleaning हो गया. Brushing के बारे में क्या बोलता है? We these days use, those plastic toothbrushes. Majority of the people. Very few use datun anymore.
Yeah.
What is modern days Ayurveda take on this?
Well, if I have to be very practical, then okay, fine. I know people are using, plastic, these toothbrushes.
Yeah.
I mean, because actually I also feel that, it's not that only people are doing wrong.
Yeah.
The problem is this. I mean, let's take an example of neem datun.
Yeah.
I mean, living in the metropolitan cities, we are not sure about the quality of the neem also. To be very practical, okay? Maybe it has some pesticides, and living in the Delhi, you have a lot of pollution. So you don't know what quality of it. Then you're putting it. So on a practical ground, I would say, okay. Use toothbrushes. Okay. But there's always a way. Okay, I'm not here going to tell you how to do the brushing, but at least do it sensibly. At times people do a shortcut because the phone is there.
But how much time would you recommend people spend on cleaning their tooths?
Let's use the bigger spectrum word, the oral cavity, the buccal cavity. Because toothbrushing is, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes. This is what normally people say. But then after you're doing tongue scraping also, and my dear, very important, the gandusha, oil pulling, which is obviously in the trend. But again this comes from the Ashtanga Sangrah Dinacharya, daily routine part, self-care part, self-loving part, where you are not doing oil pulling just for cleansing, but it has got multiple benefits. Friends, multiple means really multiple. If I start this, the whole day will end.
But explain to me oil pulling in, like a few
Okay, why not?
Sentences.
I would love to do that. Okay, so oil pulling in Ayurveda is called as Gandusha. Now let me please clear this. Gandusha and Kaval, there are two practices and they are two entirely different. It's not a mix. Gandusha is different, Kaval is mixed. So Gandusha means when you hold something. Gandusha means hold, and that is called as oil pulling. You hold, let's say, oil or whatever in the mouth. Not swish it. Not swish it. Kavala means swishing it. What do you call it? Kulla karna. That is called as kulla. Like this is kulla. So Gandusha means hold it. And my friends, this is suggested in Ayurveda to use oils. Why? Okay, let me tell you why. Why? Because now some science comes in action. So the specific gravity of oil is more than water. Is it? Let me take it simple. Have a glass full of water and then put some oil. The oil will sink or float? Tell me. It will float. Exactly. The specific gravity more. So why this process is called as oil pulling is basically when you do this holding in the mouth this 10 ml or let's say 2 spoon of sesame oil or whatever oil, we'll talk about it. So it basically pulls the toxins. It pulls the toxins out. So let me just give you more brief. So when we eat something in the dinner or so, everything gets digested, but some stuff stays in the esophagus. Not everything goes. Or maybe here. In the
especially if you have gastric disorders, that happens.
So if you're doing this oil pulling thing, it basically pulls the toxins from the whole esophagus of, let's say, the food pipe. That's why the word oil pulling comes. So when you hold it.
So you will have to really explain the science of
why
this.
Not?
Because, I can't understand how, putting something in your mouth is going to pull off all your toxins from your esophagus or your food pipe. How does that happen?
That's why I'm telling you, it's very scientific. As I said, oil basically pulls. So whatever toxins are there in the esophagus or let's say the food pipe anywhere, it basically pulls it. You are not drinking the oil. You're holding it. You're holding it. So.
And how much time do I need to hold it?
Well, I mean, the web says different, but for me, the practical aspect is 10 minutes is good.
10 minutes is good?
Believe me, when you do it practically.
Of just holding? That's
what
oil pulling is?
But I know it's not practical to hold it 10 minutes. You can swish it a little bit.
But holding it will give it the maximum benefit. And that's the right way to do it.
Exactly. Gandush is holding, not swishing it.
Not swishing. Not swishing.
So you hold it, the oil, and believe me, let me give you a scientific and simple, not scientific, practical example. You do it, my friends, you do it for 2 days and you see what is coming out. So what kind of color, the color of oil you put in and what you spit out, oh my God, what is coming out?
Oh, is there? I need to try that. You'll have to tell me what kind of oil is good for me. Like I know that Vaidya wants to see Prakriti and check all of that, but you have to give away something to my viewers, that what kind of oil is going to be safe for everybody.
This I will not say. Let me tell you, because I know you all are going to come to me for the Prakriti analysis, but still let me give you a simple example. Let's take 3 oils. Let's take coconut oil. Let's take sesame oil. And let's take mustard oil, let's say. Simple. Very simple oil. We don't take complicated oils, very simple oils. Imagine I am a person with kapha Prakriti. Kapha. Some question answers. What do you think? Which oil should I use?
I would imagine mustard oil.
Exactly. Bravo. Super. Exactly. Why? Because that is Ushna Virya, hot in potency. So if I'm a kapha type person, then if you use mustard oil, it basically takes much out and it is hot in potency. So we are using the opposite. If I'm pitta type, then?
I would use coconut oil.
Super. I mean, why are you asking me questions? Exactly. Because pitta is hot. Coconut oil is cooling. So if you use this is good. And if I am a vata type person, then sesame use. So in general, sesame is used good for everyone. But I mean, now when you are talking about the aspect, then why not to be whole?
Yeah. So you're saying sesame is good for Vata type of people.
Coconut is
good for Pitta type of people, and mustard oil is good for Kapha type of people.
Yeah.
And if you don't know your dosha, you can always find the dosha quiz in the link below and find out what your body type is.
Yeah.
So ancestors कैसे करते थे? लोग बहुत बोलते हैं आयुर्वेदा पुराना है, आयुर्वेदा like आज की डे में नहीं वो होगा. I'm pretty sure ancestors को भी कोई तो dental problems होती होंगी, तभी इतना सारा solutions create करे गए हैं. So if they were able to do it, how do we apply this to modern day life? So how did our ancestors, or how back in the times, Vedic times, how did people manage their oral health?
Swasthasya swastha raksham, aturasya vikar pashamnam. We all understand this. So Ayurveda is about promotion and prevention. जब हम ancestors की बात कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ तो disease का जो content था वो इतना सा था, इतना सा. The rest was swasthasya swastha rakshanam. So that's why उनकी लाइफ में तो इतनी बीमारियां होती नहीं थी, but we are so fortunate कि उन्होंने ये सब कुछ लिख दिया ग्रंथों में. Otherwise आज हम ढूंढते ही रहते. So basically क्या है, वहाँ पे बात होती थी स्वास्थ्य की रक्षा की. इसका मतलब ये है हमारा जो डेली रूटीन है, दिनचर्या या ऋतुचर्या जिसे बोलते हैं, वो इतना प्रिसाइज था. आई मीन ये फ्रॉम द रूट्स होता था. तो हर बच्चा भी कर रहा है, बूढ़ा भी कर रहा है. डेंटल प्रॉब्लम शायद होती थी, आई एम नॉट श्योर, आई एम सेइंग शायद, बिकॉज उस समय की जो हर्ब्स हैं, चाहे हम नीम को ले लें, चाहे हम अर्जुन की छाल को ले लें, कोई भी बात ले लें, उससे जो वो दातुन करते थे तो कुछ होता ही नहीं था. आई गिव यू अ वेरी सिंपल, बहुत सिंपल सी टिप देता हूँ. लाइकन प्लैनस का नाम सुना होगा आपने. इट्स एन ऑटोइम्यून डिसऑर्डर, ओरल लाइकन प्लैनस, जिसका कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है. इट जस्ट केम टू माय माइंड, सो आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू. एंड बिलीव मी, इसका कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है. और अर्जुन की छाल का अगर आप दातुन करते हैं या उसका गंडूश या कुल्ला करते हैं तो ओरल लाइकन प्लैनस ठीक होता है. या इसका मॉडर्न साइंस में कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है, ठीक होता है.
And you have treated
I applied hundreds of people
and they've been cured.
Yep.
They've been cured.
Yeah, they've been cured.
That's very interesting to
imagine. So now coming back to the ancestors, क्योंकि उस समय herbs भी ऐसी थी, सिंपल थी, आज भी हैं, बट काफी सारी herbs आज हमारे पास अवेलेबल नहीं है. बट क्योंकि उनके दिनचर्या का एक पार्ट था, सो इसलिए डेंटिस्ट्री की प्रॉब्लम होती ही नहीं थी. एंड आयुर्वेदा इज ऑलवेज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिनचर्या. बिलीव मी, दिनचर्या very very important. Massaging yourself and all those things which we've been talking about. But that's really important.
So now I'll kind of bring you back to our modern times. Today there is this concept of कि आपका saliva जो है बहुत important factor है in digesting everything that you do, like you just rightly said. So salivary balancing formula क्या कोई toothpaste provide कर सकता है क्या? Is it possible for a toothpaste to fix my saliva?
टूथपेस्ट की बात नहीं करते, थोड़ा सा आयुर्वेद में चलते हैं, है ना? इसको थोड़ा समझते हैं. सो हम जब भी भोजन के पचने की बात करते हैं या डाइजेशन प्रोसेस की बात करते हैं, वी आर ऑलवेज टॉकिंग अबाउट दीपना एंड पाचना. यू वेरी वेल नो. दीपना मींस एपेटाइजर, पाचना मींस डाइजेशन, राइट? समथिंग डाइजेस्टिव. सो टूथपेस्ट, yes, it may work provided it has all dipana and pachana herbs inside.
Okay.
Let's take a simple example. अगर एक टूथपेस्ट है XYZ ABC which has got लौंग, जावित्री, जायफल, क्लोव, इलायची, दालचीनी, तेजपत्ता, we all know these. What are these? टेस्ट के लिए अच्छे हैं, लेकिन they are very good appetizers. Salivary glands का secretion बढ़ाते हैं.
अच्छा.
तो टूथपेस्ट काम करेगा अगर उसमें foaming agent की जगह herbs डली हुई है.
That's enough. You don't need a foaming agent, because ये बहुत बड़ा misconception है आज के दिन में भी, that you need your toothpaste to foam or create that soap-like consistency. तो I think it's very important for people to understand कि जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके टूथपेस्ट में फोम बनना चाहिए तभी दांत साफ होंगे. Even without that, even modern day scientists are agreeing to this, that you don't always need a soap forming toothpaste. And coming back to that, acidic saliva बहुत ज्यादा डैमेजिंग होता है. आपने बोला कि हाँ सलाइवा फिक्स कर सकते हैं अगर ऐसी हर्ब्स होती हैं टूथपेस्ट में. एसिडिक से अल्कलाइन बन सकता है हमारा सलाइवा, क्योंकि एसिडिक सलाइवा से बहुत कैविटीज, ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ इश्यूज, गम इन्फ्लेमेशन, ये सब बहुत ज्यादा एग्रीवेट होता है. सो हाउ डू वी फिक्स एसिडिक सलाइवा, नॉट ओनली थ्रू टूथपेस्ट बट ऑल्सो इन जनरल?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. पहले क्वेश्चन के आंसर पे चलते हैं, फिर आंसर से क्वेश्चन पे चलेंगे. व्हाट इज एसिडिक सलाइवा? कहाँ से आया एसिडिक सलाइवा? एसिडिक सलाइवा यार पेट से. सो इट्स अ विशियस सर्कल. हमारा डाइजेशन नहीं हुआ, हमारी बॉडी में आमा एक्यूमुलेशन हुआ, एंड आमा एक्यूमुलेशन क्रिएटेड गर्ड, जिसे गैस्ट्रोएसोफेजियल रिफ्लक्स डिसऑर्डर बोलते हैं. गैस्ट्रिक रिफ्लक्स. सो माय फ्रेंड्स, दोस पीपल, एनीवन ऑफ अस और वी और यू, anyone who has dental problems like caries, cavity, receding gums also, which are very common these days, as it's a dentistry is a good business. So होता क्या है, बेसिकली गैस्ट्रिक रिफ्लक्स होता है आपको. आप सोचते हो बकल कैविटी ही खराब हो रही है, but it's the other way around also. मुझे गैस्ट्रिक रिफ्लक्स हुआ, एसिड ऊपर आया, माउथ का मीडियम सिंपल था, उसने आगे बर्न कर दिया। लोगों का आपने बहुत कॉमनली सुना होगा, मेरे मुंह में छाले हैं। क्यों छाले हैं भाई? दादी अम्मा भी बोलती हैं, बेटा तुम्हारा पेट खराब है, पेट खराब है, गर्ड हुआ तुम्हें, सो बेसिकली एसिड हुआ। सो एसिडिक सलाइवा comes from acid refluxes.
Okay.
So the other way around वापस चलते हैं, अगर मेरा डाइजेशन प्रोसेस यहाँ से शुरू हो जाएगा, अच्छे से डाइजेस्ट होगा, इट विल गो इनसाइड, आमा एक्यूमुलेशन नहीं होगा तो मुझे एसिडिक सलाइवा नहीं बनेगा।
तो आपने, as I understand, you told me 3 steps of how I can control my gut health through oral health. One is आपने मुझे बोला कि take your toothpaste which has a good amount of
herbs, Deepana and
Pachana herbs, like Tejpatta, clove and variety of other herbs. And then you told me that if I have to fix acidic saliva, I need to take care of my gut first.
Certainly.
So teeth ka cavity is taken care of by your gut health. And the third is tongue cleaning, which is very important for you to take out those toxins. Even if ban bhi rahe, at least unko nikalna bahut zaruri hai.
Very true.
Did I also, I think gandush. Gandush is also one important.
I was about to say
oil pulling. Oil pulling. गंडूश सही तरीके से करना, 10 मिनट्स के लिए करना बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है इफ़ यू रियली वांट द हेल्थ बेनिफिट ऑफ दैट अफेक्टिंग योर गट, देन दैट।
सो इसको और सिंपलीफाई अगर मैं करके बोलूं तो ये तीनों प्रोसेस आपको रोज करने हैं।
अच्छा।
दिनचर्या के पार्ट में जो फर्स्ट स्टेप है वो ओरल हाइजीन है।
सो दिनचर्या इज डेली रूटीन।
डेली रूटीन, सेल्फ लव, आई कॉल इट
सेल्फ लव।
दुनिया के लिए तो सभी करते हैं सेल्फ लव, सो यू डूइंग समथिंग फॉर योरसेल्फ बेसिकली।
ओके।
तो सेल्फ लव का जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है, आगे अभ्यंगा, सारी योग आसना सब कुछ है, बट जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है वो है ओरल हाइजीन। सो आप ब्रश करिए, टंग स्क्रैपिंग करिए, गंडूश करिए और ओरल रिंसिंग, उसके बाद पानी से कुल्ला कर लीजिए। That's all. It's very simple.
And you have to do that twice a day.
At least once a day, but if you do it twice a day, I'm more than happy. Okay. Let me use the word why I said Let me tell you a scientific reason. सुबह हम लोग खाली पेट होते हैं, तो जब आप टंग स्क्रैप करते हो, गंडूश करते हो, तो टॉक्सिन्स निकलते हैं। बट अगर हमने यही काम रात को किया, रात को ब्रश किया, वहां तक ठीक है, बट अगर मैंने टंग स्क्रैप किया, माय फ्रेंड्स ट्राई इट, टंग स्क्रैप कर दो, आपको वॉमिटिंग सेंसेशन होगी, बिकॉज हमने डिनर तभी किया है। नाउ आई एम अ लिटिल कॉन्ट्राडिक्टिंग विद द शास्त्र। शास्त्र से आपको दोनों टाइम करना है, बट क्योंकि उस समय लोग खाना 6 बजे खाते थे, अब लोग रात को 9 बजे खाते हैं। टॉकिंग वेरी प्रैक्टिकल थिंग्स, नथिंग लाइक थ्योरेटिक।
सो आप कह रहे हैं कि अपना दिनचर्या भी थोड़ा चेंज करना शुरू करो अगर अपनी ओरल हेल्थ अच्छी रखनी है।
काम बहुत सारा हम आपको बता रहे हैं, बट करेंगे तभी होगा। I tell you, Dr. Rini, one very interesting. लोग मुझे आके पूछते हैं, how can we have a good glowing skin और ये है वो है। मैं एक ही बात बोलता हूँ, मैंने भाई पेट का ध्यान रखो। And then people like laughing. I said, no, don't laugh, believe me. I want to have skin like you. मैंने कहा पेट का ध्यान रखो। But people say it. And I say, पेट का ध्यान रखो ना। आप जंक खा रहे हो, you're expecting putting stuff on the face. It is not going to happen.
So that's another topic for another day, the skincare routine with Dr. Saurabh. But guys, it's really important, the pointers that he said, just a simple change in routine, 5 to 7 minutes of your time, I think, brushing, tongue cleaning and oil pulling, that's all you need.
Even if it is 10 minutes, it is for you.
Yes, self-love. So tell me, Dr. Saurabh, what do you do in your daily, आपने बता तो दिया बहुत कुछ करते हो, what do Vaidyas do in their daily, I mean particularly you, because you're here, so tell me, how do you take care of your oral health? Do you do all these 3 things that you just said?
I'm really honest. This is what I do. I mean, I speak what I do. I mean, for example, even when I prescribe the medicines or herbs to patients, I say, I will give you only what I can take.
Okay.
At times people say, चूरन दे दिया आपने, दे दिया. I said, अरे यार इसको ऐसे ले लो. Let's take it very simple. So what I do, I tell you.
Okay.
If I don't do, I will not tell you. Believe me. Okay. I don't go with the text only because I know the practical aspects are a little different.
Yeah.
But this is something which you can do. If you're waking up every day in the Brahma Muhurat, which we all do.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of responsibilities. For me, I have time.
Yeah.
So waking up, going for the natural urges, then brushing the teeth, doing tongue scraping, doing oil pulling, cleaning, going for a nice walk, a little bit of yoga. I'm not very good in yoga, but a little bit of yoga, then TM, then easy things. Yeah. So I do it. I'm not doing 10 minutes of Gandusha, to be very honest with you. Yeah. I do it 5-6 minutes because after that, I feel like, okay, I'm done.
But I think 5-6 minutes is good enough. Good enough.
2 minutes for this, then you do tongue scraping, then you Gandusha, and then your mouth is like so nice. You have such a nice feeling. Believe me, you can enjoy the taste. At times people say, टेस्ट ही नहीं आ रहा है, कोरोना तो नहीं हो गया। अरे कोरोना नहीं हो रहा है भाई, आपके मुंह पे आमा एक्यूमुलेशन है। आप टंग देखोगे, जब हम डायग्नोस करते हैं हम हमेशा बोलते हैं अपनी टंग दिखाओ।
So yes, that's true because you know I had a friend for the longest time after COVID, she had that metallic taste on her tongue, and she had gone to I don't know, probably 10 different types of doctors who gave her some sort of supplements, who gave her zinc, who gave her this and that, and she just couldn't get rid of that metallic taste. And it's only when she started tongue cleaning properly that she realized something is changing.
Yeah.
And I sent her to a Vaidya as well. So she did take some Ayurvedic medicines as well. But I think it's very important to understand कुछ problems के solution बहुत simple होते हैं and बहुत daily life में आप दे सकते हो. It's not necessary for all of you to take medicines all the time. Just these 3 steps that Dr. Saurabh mentioned can actually affect your gut health as well. So I think it's very, it's really nice for me to, have this information with me, Dr. Saurabh. Thank you so much. What do you think is, the regular routine कि if my oral health is not good, my oral health is really bad, मान लो कि अभी के time, how often should I come and show you my oral health? I know that, in Ayurveda it's a little different. You'll see their pulse and you'll see what are the deeper rooted issues. Yeah. But if oral health is really bothering me, how often do I need to come and show you?
Okay, 2 aspects. First, oral health is really bothering you. Why? Because of the mistaken intellect? तो ठीक है, आप मेरे पास आओ, डांट खाओ. One thing. Second, नहीं यार डॉक्टर साहब मैं तो सब कुछ कर रही हूँ फिर भी ऐसा हो रहा है.
हाँ, exactly.
हमारे देश में देर 6 ऋतु है ना, 6 seasons. So मेरा सजेशन है because हर सीजन जैसे दिन चल रहा है the same way we have ऋतु चल रहा है. My humble submission is this. जब भी ऋतु चेंज होती है आप एक बार मेरे पास आइए. I'm not going to check your oral health with a torch, but check your nadi also, check your other अष्टविध परीक्षा कहते हैं इसको, वो सब कुछ चेक करेंगे. तो जहाँ जो चीज चेंज करने की होगी डाइट या डेली रूटीन में उसको हम सिंपली चेंज कर लेंगे. तो हर 6 बार स्वस्थ से स्वास्थ्य रक्षणम के लिए तो आइए, आतुरस्य विकार प्रश्न के लिए तो आप जितनी बार आए मैं जल्दी ठीक करना चाहूंगा.
So Dr. Saurabh, seasons of course हर जगह applicable नहीं है. So what is your general instruction? Like what would you tell people that this is how often you should come and show a Vaidya?
Well, in that case, to be very honest, I would say every 2-3 months you should visit. But let me tell you one thing. Our body is such a nice creation from God. होता कि हम लोग देखते नहीं है. For example, वो प्रज्ञापराध जिसे हम बोलते हैं mistaken intellect. हमारी बॉडी हमेशा हमें एक इंडिकेशन देती है, कुछ ना कुछ देती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आज मुझे एसिडिटी हुई, सो दिस इज अ इंडिकेशन फ्रॉम आवर बॉडी. सो दिस इज द टाइम टू मीट एंड कंसल्ट वैद्य कि भाई कहाँ पे इम्बैलेंस है, उसको हम ठीक कर लें. परंतु कोई बात नहीं, एक एलोपैथिक दवाई सुबह पेट खा लेंगे, देन होता क्या है वो बढ़ते बढ़ते कुछ बड़ा विकराल डिजीज बन जाता है,
chronic disease हो जाता है, and then you get to a point where even the allopathic medication is not working on you.
So when your body gives you even a little indication, just go to your Vaidya because he is not a medicine seller. Believe me, he is your friend who's just trying to do a little changes with your lifestyle, diet and simple things, and then you can easily rectify your issues.
I think that's a good point because it's important for people to understand कि 2-3 महीने बाद अगर वैद्य को लगता है you don't need to come, that is what they'll recommend as well, right?
Yeah.
So diet and lifestyle sometimes is also enough for most of the people. So what would you recommend in general, people, how often should they come to you and get their oral health checkup or general health checkup done?
I'll take my line from there. So हम आयुर्वेद में ऐसा लिखा गया है जैसे एक अच्छे डॉक्टर के, अच्छे वैद्य के 4 गुण होते हैं, उसी तरह एक अच्छे पेशेंट के भी 4 गुण हैं. So जो पहला गुण है वो बेसिकली है बेशक वश्य, यानी बेशक यानी वैद्य या डॉक्टर, और वश यानी उसके वश में, यानी जो पेशेंट है वो ओबीडियंट होना चाहिए, फॉलो करना चाहिए जो उसका डॉक्टर बोल रहे हैं. अगर आप एक वैद्य की बात को फॉलो करते हैं तो आप सिंपल डाइट और डेली रूटीन के चेंजेस से भी अपने आप को हेल्दी रख सकते हैं.
So just one final question, which food types are the worst for oral health?
I will make a huge list, believe me.
Really?
Okay.
मान लो कि 5 basic things भी if you can tell us that ये तो ऐसे foods है जो अगर आपका ओरल हेल्थ खराब है बिल्कुल ही दूर रहो. जैसे लोगों को सैलेड हेल्दी लगता है, कच्चा टमाटर और something like that. How do you think they are thinking that taking very good care of themselves? You tell us.
Okay, one thing, simple thing, fast food या junk. Because क्या है जो उसका प्रोसेसिंग है उस फूड का वो बहुत खराब है. अगर आप उसको बनते हुए देख लोगे तो शायद इतनी तो हमारी चेतना या कॉन्शियस में बोलिए क्या खा रहा है तू यार, क्या खा रहे. So one thing, very simple. Second thing, viruddhahar. I think we should have a discussion on this later.
So viruddhahar is incompatible foods.
Incompatible foods. For example, simple सा example लेते हैं. क्या आपने कभी गर्म चाय और कोल्ड ड्रिंक साथ पिए, नहीं पीना ऐसा, बट हम लोग कई बार खाने में कर देते हैं। हाँ, सॉल्टी चीज को मीठे के साथ ले रहे हैं या सर्द गर्म खा रहे हैं, सो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम, ठंडा गर्म लगना, यू मस्ट अवॉइड अ लॉट ऑफ दांतों में ठंडा सेंसिटिविटी व्हाट वी कॉल इट, वो इसीलिए होता है क्योंकि आप खा गलत रहे हो,
नॉट बिकॉज यू हैव एन इंटरनल प्रॉब्लम।
नो, मैंने इंजेक्शन ही गलत किया है तो बाय प्रोडक्ट उसका गलत बनना ही बनना है। थर्ड थिंग इज एसिडिक फूड्स। जितना आप एल्कलाइन लेते हैं यानी ग्रीन लीफी वेजिटेबल्स लेते हैं, उतना ही आपके बगल कैविटी में टाइलिन सिक्रेशन अच्छा होता है, डाइजेशन प्रोसेस होता है, और वो आपकी गट के लिए भी इजी होता है। फोर्थ थिंग, अ लॉट ऑफ एरिएटेड ड्रिंक्स। आई एम सॉरी टू से दिस, लोगों में एक बहुत बड़ी मिथ है, आई वोंट टेक द नेम्स, बट वो पी लिया तो मेरी गैस निकल गई। गैस नहीं निकली है, वो केवल सिम्टम रिलीज हुआ है। सॉरी बट दैट्स ट्रू। एंड द फिफ्थ इज eating a lot of meat.
Okay, you think that can really damage your oral
acidic,
health?
No, you're putting a lot of heat and acid inside. तो buccal cavity के अंदर जो receding of gums है वो बहुत common है।
तो आपके पास प्रोटीन वाले तो बहुत लोग आएंगे बोलने के लिए, आपने मीट मना कर दिया, हम प्रोटीन कहाँ से लें?
अरे भैया, दाल है आपके पास, आजकल तो किनवा इतना फैशन में है, किनवा में कहाँ दिक्कत है, दालें हैं। और
ब्रोकली इज आल्सो,
या ब्रोकली, मैं आपका गट इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कर दूंगा कि आप दूध और पनीर से भी बहुत सारे प्रोटीन
ले सकते हो। या आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ वेजिटेरियंस रिलाइंग ओनली ऑन मिल्क एंड
I have a lot of patients coming to me, good building bodybuilders and not taking any supplements, not taking any meat, nothing. Typical vegetarian boys and girls, typical, and right musculature,
and they don't take any meat or anything.
I get people from Bahadurgarh, Haryana, desi, you know these desi guys, lambe chौड़े, यार तुम क्या जिम जाते हैं? सर मैं जिम नहीं जाता, मैं डंड पेलता हूँ एंड आई ईट ओनली देसी खाना, सारे नट्स हैं भाई, आप सारे नट्स खाओ ना, सब कुछ मिलता है। वो केवल एक मिथ है कि मैं मीट खाऊंगा या मैं डिब्बे खाऊंगा तो मुझे प्रोटीन मिलेगा। दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली अ मिथ।
मीट आल्सो imbalances your gut health, which affects your oral health at the end.
I mean, I'm not talking about the Sattva-Raja Tamas concept, but yes, it impacts. Let me give you a simple example. आप डिब्बा भर के प्रोटीन खा रहे हो, आपसे रोटी पच नहीं रही है, और आप स्किनी हो, और आप बोल रहे हो सर मैं जिम जा रहा हूँ, मसल नहीं बन रही, कैसे बनेगी यार?
प्रोटीन कैसे एब्जॉर्ब होगा?
रोटी डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रही, प्रोटीन कैसे डाइजेस्ट होगा?
प्रोटीन कैसे एब्जॉर्ब होगा?
So I mean, this is how we Ayurveda see जनरल पर्सन की, आपका अग्नि देखें, आपका प्रकृति देखें, विकृति देखें, बॉडी टाइप देखें, and then we tell कि भाई ये करो simple things, इससे ठीक हो जाएगा।
Yeah. So I know that oral health, you know, is pretty much तब लोगों को प्रॉब्लम लगती है या तो जब उनको सेंसिटिव टीथ हो जाए, कैविटी हो जाए, या तो बैड ब्रेथ का बहुत कंसिस्टेंट प्रॉब्लम हो। सो वी हैव कवर्ड कैविटी वगैरह कैसे देख सकते हैं। बैड ओडर, हाउ डज वन इन आयुर्वेदा कंट्रोल दैट?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, वेरी प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन। दो रीजंस। पहला रीजन कि आपके दांतों के बीच में कुछ फंस गया, ब्रश नहीं करो, इसीलिए मैंने वो सिंपल बोला, आई कैन नॉट डू ब्रश एवरी टाइम आफ्टर द मील, बट एटलीस्ट आई कैन रिंस द माउथ। This is very simple.
So you think that will help rinsing the mouth after every meal?
Definitely.
For bad odor.
Yeah. And second जो bad odor का बहुत बड़ा reason होता है वो होता है आपका gut health, जो normally लोग नहीं सोचते। वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, और mouth cleansing के लिए जो mouth wash आते हैं वो करते रहेंगे, खुश हो जाएंगे। खुश नहीं होना है बॉस, you have to work on your gut. IBS के पेशेंट्स आते हैं, constipation के पेशेंट्स आते हैं, GERD के gastroesophageal एसिडिटी के पेशेंट है, इन सबको बैड ओडर होता है। क्यों? क्योंकि लेट मी गिव यू, चलो एक सिंपल एग्जांपल, एक सैंडविच लेके आए, हमने उसको एक ऑफिस में रख दिया, रूम में रख दिया, मेरे ऑफिस में कहा डॉक्टर सौरभ कॉल दिया, एक दिन नहीं खाया, 2 दिन नहीं खाया, 4 दिन बाद वो स्मेल करेगा, फंगस लगेगा, 7 दिन बाद पूरा रूम गंदा हो जाएगा, हाउस कीपिंग रूम फ्रेशनर मारेगा तो भी स्मेल नहीं जाएगी। इट इज द सेम थिंग विद योर बैड ओडर। आपके बॉडी में जब तक कोई चीज प्रॉपर्ली डाइजेस्ट नहीं होगी वो अंदर सड़ेगी। I'm sorry I'm using this word सड़ना, but that's particularly putrefaction. And that creates, odor comes from air also.
So that byproduct, you know, that putrefaction का byproduct जो है, it comes and accumulates in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that is the same, that does tongue cleaning help with that?
It will. But वही again we are talking about both the aspects. One is this कि मैं खा ही गलत रहा हूँ, तो बेचारी टंग क्लीनिंग भी क्या करी। So इसीलिए we are always talking in Ayurveda about a holistic approach. एक छोटा मोटा काम नहीं करना, you have to understand how you have to easily implement those things in your life. So
maybe you know, like start with those 3 steps that you mentioned, and you know, the gandush and you know, tongue cleaning, using herbal or a natural Ayurvedic toothpaste for you know, दीपन एंड पाचन प्रॉपर्टीज के साथ। तो ये सारी चीजें पहले ट्राई करके देखिए, एंड देन यू नो ऑलवेज कॉन्टैक्ट अ वैद्या इफ योर प्रॉब्लम इज परसिस्टिंग। मेक श्योर दैट यू नो यू आर इन टच विद योर वैद्या, दे कैन टेल यू हाउ टू सॉर्ट आउट दैट प्रॉब्लम फ्रॉम इट्स डीप रूटेड you know, issue area, rather than just focusing on the symptoms.
And believe me, if we do these small things, I mean, I'm not just saying because we are saying it, But if you do these small things, like Chivanelekar, which is tongue scraping, Gandusha, oil pulling, and nicely brushing your teeth, not killing your gums, but nicely, sensibly brushing your teeth, half of your problems can be solved. And I believe gut is the biggest imbalance these days. Everyone is suffering from some gut,
almost
little or big issues.
I think 99% of the people have gut issues these
So
days.
if you do these small things, you will see the change.
But tell me, Ayurvedic mouth freshener hai?
बहुत सारे हैं. Again, mouth freshener is not important. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know you said that.
I will talk about deeper and Pachana. Mouth freshener कब होगा? अच्छा, let me use a mouth freshener long.
Okay, long.
I also added one.
Long is one.
So long is a one mouth freshener.
Okay.
Soft. Fennel seed.
Yeah.
It's a mouth freshener.
Yeah.
Jeera. I know you will say jeera, but believe me, jeera is again a very nice.
So kacha jeera or like bhuna?
If you take it bhuna hua, it's better. Very nicely put. Very nicely. So these 2-3 things are mouth freshener, but believe me, think about the other aspects. खुशबू नहीं चाहिए मुझे mouth से, मुझे mouth से digestion चाहिए.
Okay.
This is your stomach. This is your gut. Work here.
So it's more like a mouth digester
kind of,
or digestive rather than a mouth freshener.
A little taste.
Yeah.
A little
but
taste.
it will help me with bad odor.
Certainly
all of these
it
things.
will help you.
So, Dr. Saurabh, what would be your final, goodbye message to our viewers?
So my good beginning message is your mouth, your buccal cavity is the gateway toward your gut health. If your gut is good, you are in a perfect health. So if your gut is strong enough, easily digesting the food, you will not have any diseases and any imbalances.
And I think what I want my viewers to take away is that the steps that Dr. Saurabh has just told us, they are pretty simple, can be easily incorporated. 5 से 7 मिनट आपको अपने लिए निकालना है. And उस 5 से 7 मिनट में आप basically, what you can do is just, brush your teeth like you do. Use herbal Ayurvedic toothpaste, fully Ayurvedic, not just anybody के 2 herbs डाल दिए तो वो Ayurvedic toothpaste बन गया. आयुर्वेदा में बहुत सारी साइंस जाती है, बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन जाती है to make that holistic formulation. So try and find an Ayurvedic toothpaste for you, a non-foaming one without SLS, without parabens and stuff like that. And the other thing is incorporate gandosh and tongue scraping as your regular daily, activity. And it only takes 7 minutes of your life. That's all that it will take. I think it's very simple. मैं तो शुरू करने ही वाली हूँ. Thank you so much, Dr. Saurabh. This was wonderful.
Thank you.